Obviously, Bermuda is an island, so we are directly impacted by the ocean's plastic. Also, each one of us Bermudians is generating 374 pounds of plastic per year. But still, why should I care? Well, first of all, we Bermudians live on an island.
We sit in the middle of the Sargasso Sea. We're the only landmass, and there's a Great Atlantic garbage patch. And all of that plastic is washing up on our beaches.
Big surprise, that 8 million tons of plastic that gets dumped into the world's oceans ends up floating around in the middle of the world's oceans. Bermuda sits right next to one of those floating garbage dumps. That dump sits on top of the Sargasso Sea, which was once one of the most beautiful and amazing ecosystems of the world.
And it's not just in Bermuda's Sargasso Sea. In the North Pacific alone, fish eat 12 to 24,000 tons of plastic per year.
Most of the trash will be fragments of something, and you can actually see where turtles and fish have bitten into that plastic trash that we're picking up off the ocean.
Fish all over the world eat plastic. Often, the fish get eaten by seabirds. Therefore, the plastic ends up in the birds.
So how is that affecting all the animals in Bermuda?
So what you're seeing is the plastic is going into their digestive system, and it basically has nowhere to go. So it is clogging their whole bodies up.
The Bermuda Aquarium Museum and Zoo did a recent study examining bait fish in Bermuda. What they found was astonishing. 40% of the bait fish had microplastics in their guts.
What you're also seeing is that birds' nests in Bermuda are made out of plastic. And so it is impacting not just our oceans, but our land animals as well.
Plastics in the environment are lipophilic. So plastics are drawn out of plastic and into food in fat cells. So you're more likely to get plastics or microplastics in your food that contains fat. So the worst thing you could do is get mac and cheese, put it in a plastic container.
The plastic we humans eat comes from our food packaging. So all those harmful chemicals that fish and animals eat, they get into our food too.
The plastic chemicals that you're consuming in your food, things like phytates which leach in, and also the BPA, that causes a problem not just in terms of male health and male fertility, affecting sperm counts, but also affects female reproductive health too.
This is especially true when hot food or drinks are placed in plastic or styrofoam containers, like your takeout food.
And so if you take a water bottle, for example, you are drinking that water bottle and it's been in Bermuda, heat and all the rest of it, sunlight, and it's already starting to fall apart. And so you're consuming that plastic from that water bottle.
Plastics are more likely to come out of a container and go into your food when that container is heated. Okay, so if you're going to heat food in a microwave, then it's a really good idea not to heat it in a plastic container and to use a glass container.
In the end, there is so much plastic in the environment that you almost cannot avoid eating it.
We know that we have got 51 trillion microplastic particles in the ocean, and they get consumed by plankton, which gets consumed by fish, which then gets consumed by you. And unfortunately, even if you don't eat fish, you still can't avoid it because it's sometimes in the air you breathe, it's in sea salt, it's in honey, it's in beer, and it's sometimes in the water that you drink.
Needless to say, that plastic has the same effect on sea life that it does on us.
COVID-19 made the problem dramatically worse with frightening results. Every month, we humans use 129 billion face masks and 65 billion gloves. They all contain plastic and they all turn into plastic waste.
And the idea that they won't be able to necessarily have children of their own because of the plastic that is put in their lunchboxes is really quite terrifying. We really need to think about the future and think about how we can make sure that we leave this planet in a better place than it was given to us.